Hello everybody and welcome to Africa on the Rise, your show that brings you all the relevant, factual and uplifting information emanating from the motherland of Africa and of course the diaspora. My name is Obinna Onwuchekwa and I'm the author of the book series Dictates of the Heart. I'm also the executive director of this show, Africa on the Rise. Welcome once again to Africa on the Rise. Our guest for today is the executive producer of this show, Dr. George Onuorah, backed by popular demand. So, Dr. George Onuorah, you have done so many things. But aside from being the executive director of this show, you have so much under your belt. You have done community work, politics, you have won a lot of awards and so many things about you that it can take a book to write about you. I'm talking about that you're also the author of a book. So first of all, tell us about your book, The Political Diary of a Rising Sun.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. My book is called The Political Diary of a Rising Sun, and quite simply it's a collection of articles I've written over time because from a young, being a young child, I started writing essay competitions and things like that, and from there I kind of loved and morphed into writing. So Political Diary of a Rising Sun was my way of putting together all my writings about politics, about life, about society and so on. So it's basically a compilation, but for the most part the book spent quite a number of time discussing politics in the United States and also politics in Nigeria, where I come from. So that's what it's about.
It looks like your book kind of sums up everything about you. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you came into politics.
Wow. Well, I came into politics not by accident. You know, I was a member of the Boy Scouts of Nigeria. That was about the age of 13. So being a Boy Scout member, we were taught how to become good citizens. We were doing civic activities such as helping in the community, cleaning the street, helping the elderly, etc., etc. So from there, I kind of embraced the idea of giving back and helping my community. So that's where everything culminated. So, and being that I was also an admirer of the Zik of Africa, Chief Honorable Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, who was the first Governor General of Nigeria and the first ceremonial president, I kind of, wanted to be like Zik, to emulate his politics, his intellectual capacity and things. I wanted to just be like him, and being like someone that I considered my role model. So that's where, from there, I decided to study political science. And then also, doing that, I was hoping that from the politics that I will be able to contribute something to the betterment of the Nigerian society. Because I've, learned from history since our independence in 1960 that we need to build a better society post-independence from Britain. So my whole idea was, what can I do as a person to bring something to contribute to the sustenance of democracy in Nigeria and to make Nigeria a better country and to better humanity.
So now take us to your background, your educational background. Now that you know that you wanted to be in politics, how did you go about getting yourself ready for it?
Oh, okay. Thank you for that question. Basically, what I did was through my primary education. That's how we started in Nigeria. Primary education, I studied in city of Jos in Benue Plateau State. This was even before the Civil War. So after the education, there was Civil War in Nigeria from 1966 to 1970. my parents left Jos and moved to the eastern region of Nigeria, and that's where I continued my education. And I went through the secondary school phase. During the secondary school phase, I was very active in the student body. I was part of the debating society, part of doing essay competition, and then just, trying to immerse myself in the type of learning that will make me universally ready for any kind of responsibility or expectation. So, and went through secondary school, but also being that I've always loved the idea of Western education, good quality education, and seeing that some of my peers were coming to the United States to study, I decided to see if I can do the same thing. And fortunately for me, I was able to get admission to Marshalltown Community College in Iowa. So in 1981, I embarked on that journey to the US, and I studied journalism at Marshalltown Community College for 2 years. After that 2-year education, I moved to New York, where I also continued at City University of New York, York College, and there I continued and studied political science. Got my bachelor's degree, and then also I did a little bit of studies that was abbreviated at John Jay College of Criminal Justice. From there, I did other, preparatory academic work to get me to where I am now. But also, being that I've done quite a number of things in humanitarian work globally, traveled to over 12 countries, helping and giving back. I was contacted to evaluate the extent of my work and every other thing put together, and then I was given an honorary doctorate degree in humanities, honoris causa. Yeah.
Thank you so very much, Dr. George. It looks like you really immersed yourself in the process of really getting to yourself to where you are now. Yeah. Also, from what I know about you, that you have done a lot in the community, not only in your humanitarian work, but in community activities. And can you tell us a little bit about your community work?
Community work was something that, I started as a member of the Boy Scouts of Nigeria. The Boy Scouts of Nigeria, like I stated earlier, was just a way of grooming young people, young kids, to become responsible citizens, to be civically minded. But then when I moved to the United States, I became even more involved in community work. I joined the community board. I was actually appointed by the Honorable Borough President Helen Marshall, and I did serve 4-year term. It's 2 years. I served 2 consecutive terms of 2 years, and then was involved in the Neighborhood Advisory Board, where we do need assessment to determine in underserved communities how much money will be allocated for funding for different after-school programs, for senior centers, for different things that will help to kind of equalize the level playing field in the communities and in New York, but it's a federal program,
So with all the experience that you have under your belt, they say that politics goes hand in hand with humanitarian work, and not everybody that is in politics embodies that, but you have really been an embodiment of humanitarian, being a philanthropist, and you have shown it with all the things that you have done. Can you tell us a little bit about your organization that you have right now, you're working on?
Well, thank you for that question. The organization that I conceived and started about 2 years ago is called the Foundation for Sustainable Community Development Initiative. It's a non-profit organization, a 501c3 organization, to do charity and to continue the services I've been doing, to continue seeing how I can help better our community and society. And what the organization does is basically looking at some of the issues, underlying problems we have in some of the communities here in Queens, and also vis-a-vis other communities we have in Africa, Nigeria, where we come from. The challenges that they have, we try to look at them and see how we can advance our problem, whether it's in the area of education or in health or general empowerment of youths, because the youths are considered the greater tomorrow and the next generation. So I've always been passionate about what I can do to extend myself to help guide them in the right way, to encourage them to become better citizens so that they can in turn help to make whatever community they come from or society better. So like more recently, about a month or so ago, I was involved, my organization, in partnership with the Rotary Club of New York, did an initiative at Amherst Hospital. Foundation for Sustainable Community Development Initiative is a non-profit organization formed as a way to better our communities. We want to go where the needs are. We do this in Africa, we do this in communities in America, in Corona. Just a way to help build a better community, serve those that are in need, because when we find people that are lacking, we can extend a little bit of help to them. And it just goes to make a world a better place. It's really a great pleasure to be here. My name is Dr. Onuorah. I'm the CEO of the Foundation for Sustainable Community Development Initiative. We are here because of one thing. We are here because we have a bunch of professionals who came out and really went above and beyond in these challenging times connected with the COVID-19 pandemic. Quite frankly, we are here because we want to appreciate the good work that some of these professionals, doctors, nurses, social workers did, trying to help to make things better for our community. Amherst Hospital serves about 1 million people. So we really want to stand here to say thank you because of what they did. And then because, as part of the human community, whatever any one of us can do to help make our world a better place is truly appreciated. I'm reminded of what John F. Kennedy said when he said that ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. And for me personally, I want to leave this world better than I found it. And of course, from what's going on now with the pandemic, the COVID-19, that Amherst Hospital is considered the epicenter of this global challenge in health. So what we did was to go to Amherst Hospital to appreciate these essential workers that did so much to help make sure that the loss of life is kind of contained, that they were able to give of themselves, and so when we did that, what we did was exactly to appreciate these workers by giving 100 of them, lunch, an assortment of lunch of various types, vegetarian and so on, and to say thank you for the work they've done. Amherst Hospital. Amherst Hospital is one of the community hospitals in this city that serve over 1 million people. It's located in the most ethnically diverse community in the whole of the United States or even the world. So we're here today to appreciate the healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, social workers, and what have you, who have sacrificed time, family and everything to care for those impacted by the COVID-19 illnesses. So because they went above and beyond, we're here to say thank you. And our Foundation for Sustainable Community Development Initiative, has taken it upon itself to express our appreciation. And one way for us to do that is to just bring a token of support, 100 lunches for the staff and drinks and things like that, to say we appreciate and thank you. But besides that, every year during the fall semester, we give school supplies and backpacks to students. We do that here in Corona, Queens. And then also during the Christmas season, we try to help the young kids and to give them the spirit of Christmas by donating toys. And we give away toys to over 200 kids. And this is something that, these kids, because some of these kids, their parents are not well off to be able to, give them this happiness that every kid deserves during the celebration of Christmas. So that's part of the thing.
So other than doing this in the United States, because you mentioned the work that you're doing in the United States, you've also done this globally. You have gone to different parts of the world to spread the joy.
Yes.
So tell us.
So before I started the organization Foundation for Sustainable Community Development Initiative, which I'm the CEO presently. I had been part of another organization that does humanitarian work, and we went to Dominican Republic, we went to Spain, Madrid, we went to Argentina, we went to Montevideo, Uruguay, and we went to London, we went to Paris, we went to Italy, and some other places, just to give back and to say, because you'll be surprised when you go to some of these countries that you consider that okay, you see that a lot of poverty, a lot of things are not really going right, so that, when we come and give them the little that we have, it kind of helps to make a difference. So that's something that I really love, traveling to these other countries to give back. It was really something that I appreciated doing.
It takes a special kind of person to look past themselves and to look into the problems of other people, not only on a local scale, but on a global scale. And we really appreciate what you're doing to help people that are less fortunate. Based on your work and because of your work, you have received a lot of awards, at least 21. Can you please tell us a little bit about your awards that you've received? The awards and citations and appreciations?
Personally, the work I do, the humanitarian work I do, is something that comes, that is within me to do. I don't really do them because of the award or the accolade, but if it comes with, those awards came as a result, and I certainly did appreciate them. But one of the main reasons that I do what I do is that I want to leave this world better than I found it. And there's nothing else that will give me better joy than to see that I'm able to give back, to help others that are less fortunate and those that are struggling to make it. But I've received those that stood out when I got an award as a King of Queens. King of Queens, so that was really a special award that was meant for a select few. So it was at Terrace on the Park here in Queens, and I did appreciate that. I have also received an award which was 2 years ago. It's a tribute, a humanitarian award, a tribute to Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King, which I also appreciated very much. But besides that, I had also received about 5 or 6 congressional awards from the U.S. Congress, and one, I believe it was in 2014. the award was a proclamation that declared November 14 of that year as George Onuorah's Day throughout the land.
Wow.
And
so
it was really something
George
that
Onuorah Day. That is
yeah,
amazing.
so that's something that I cherish here. But besides, I have received about 10 or 12 from New York State Senate, Assembly, from the Borough President of Queens, from other organizations. I can't even begin, but I think about 26 awards put together.
Thank you so very much. This is
Welcome.
quite very impressive for somebody who came from Nigeria and you aspired to make an impact upon the lives of others, and you have quite succeeded in doing that. And I know that I'm sure with all of this that you must have some kind of political aspirations. But before we go into that, we also want to go into your media work. You also have done some work with the media, lots of it. Can you please tell us about it?
Wow, my media work, where do I start? When I was in high school, I wrote an article on politics, and I was surprised to have it published in the Daily Star in Nigeria. Daily Star is one of the newspapers in Anambra State. So that really inspired me that, I saw an article that I've written published. So, but besides that, I was associate publisher for African Lifestyle News USA. That was about 15 years ago. And then also I'm a co-founder and publisher of our World Media magazine, which is still in existence. And also currently, of course, you as the executive director, I'm the executive producer of Africa on the Rise. And, because I believe that through journalism we can help reshape society to become better, to become fair, to become just, and so that, things will get better, because, we need to tell the story factually, like you said in the introduction, about how things are, instead of, coloring things or doing things because of politics. The essence is to report the news, and this is something that I love, journalism. And I wanted to become a journalist of the highest order,
Oh, thank you so very much for all the work that you're doing and for making it possible for Africa on the Rise to be in existence. As an African, what is your assessment of the strides that Africans have made in the area of politics and in the electoral sector of the United States of America? What is your assessment of that?
My assessment of how far we've come in politics, Africans being involved or getting involved in politics, that we still have a long way to go. If you look around now, I know there was a story of an African being elected mayor somewhere in Ohio, and but we haven't really done as much. But we also have one elected to the Assembly in Staten Island. That was about a couple of years ago. So even though we are making those strides, I know that we still are capable of doing more. I'll be remiss if I fail to mention an engineer from Anambra State, from Nigeria, is also contesting to be the senator in the state of Georgia on the 9th district. From what I learned or read, he came in second in the primary, so he will be going for another runoff on August 11th. But certainly there is a lot that we Africans can do, and we should really get involved, because America is our home, so we should try to play more role, become more active and civic engaged in what is going on, so that we can contribute our little, the much we can to the advancement of American society and to the world in general.
Okay, So, Dr. George Onuorah, with all the experience that you have under your belt, it seems like you are fully qualified to run for office. So, do you have any plans of doing this?
Politics, you know, I think it's Aristotle, you know, he said that man is by nature a political animal. So in terms of politics, I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but being in the Boy Scouts, what we are taught is that be prepared. So I am prepared. I don't know if anything comes along. I don't go chasing politics, but people have come to me and said, why don't you do this? Why don't you run for that? But I believe that God's time is the best. So I look forward to the future with optimism that if it's the will of God that one day it will happen. But for now, I'm content with doing what I'm doing, helping in humanitarian side, helping to advance society to make sure that we live in a fair, just, and equitable world where people should embrace each other with love, affection, and then we are trying to, you know, help grow the young ones to become the leaders of tomorrow that we expect them to be.
Thank you so much, Dr. George Onuorah, for all the insightful information that you gave us today. We know that you have a great future ahead of you in the area of politics, and we look forward to seeing you run for some office, and I know that a lot of us will support you. Thank you for watching us again on Africa on the Rise, when we bring you all the wonderful people and all the achievements of people of African heritage in the African motherland as well as in the diaspora. Please join us again next month, and do not forget to follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as YouTube. And you can also inbox us at africaontherise@yahoo.com. Also find us, of course, on UPTV, Horizon, as well as Spectrum. Again, I am Obinna. I am the author of the book series, Dictates of the Heart, and the executive director of this show, Africa on the Rise. Thank you so very much, and have a blessed day.
Thank you, Mr. Floyd.